Hey guys, it is me. It is ya boy, Jason Louise Vids. Now I want to say this, and say this very crystal and very clear. I, myself, am all about bridging the racial gap between blacks and whites, building bridges with the black community. And well, I have a couple of black friends. I'm not going to name names. But I myself have a couple of black friends, personal black friends of mine, and I'm all about the whole like building a strong camaraderie with the black community among whites. I have a couple of black friends, and I just want to say it is time that we build bridges between blacks and whites. I mean, I'm not a racist person. I'm not a racist person at all, to begin with. But I'm also not a black hating person at all. I ain't never hated a black person.
Fuck yeah! I want you gone by midnight. Mama's right.
And with that being said, I'm all about having great friendships with black people. I mean, chances are, I'm just gonna say that I myself would rather be friends with a black person instead of a gay person. But I'm just gonna go out on a limb and just say I just rather have like a really great opportunity to unite the blacks and whites together as one tandem racial force of camaraderie and good friendship. A formidable force of friendship that trumps all racial differences between blacks and whites. And I'm also about keeping racial prejudices between blacks and whites at a non-existent level. Truly making a difference. I'm all about making that racial difference when it comes to uniting blacks and whites together as friends, allies, comrades, if you will. And I'm just saying, we need to unite the blacks and whites together. Just to unite the blacks and whites together as a unified force of friendship. And it's time that we do the right things by each other. As one of my favorite, like lyrical poets named Tupac. You gotta learn to see me as a brother instead of two distant strangers. And being real, and don't being real appeal to the brother in you.
Where was the husband support during our marriage?
And it's time to make some changes. Quote unquote, in the words of the great poet Tupac Shakur.
Sakes. I can steal all my money too.
So yeah,
This blows.
we gotta end racial warfare between the blacks and whites. End that racial warfare. And put that racial warfare in the ground where it belongs. I mean, a black friend of mine is dating a white girl and I have no problem with that. And I have another black friend who's dating a white female. And I have no issue with that.
Ciao, baby.
It's time that the blacks and whites end, permanently kill off this racial beef. The racial feud between blacks and whites needs to die. I see blacks as friends, not enemies. I see blacks as friends of mine, not enemies. I will not grapple sabers with a black person. That's not me. It would be so unlike me to grapple a saber against a black person. I rather have open arms and wrap my arms in an embrace with a black person over grappling sabers against the black person. Because I see black people as friends of mine, not an enemy, not an adversary, not an antagonist, not the Hades, if you will, of the social interaction between me and blacks. I am heavily against black-based prejudices from whites. I'm all about having racial bonding with blacks. And yes, I rather have racial bonding between me and black people because I respect them because I see a lot of myself similarly finding and seeing myself in those members of the black community when it comes to being discriminated against. I mean, I am autistic. I own up to me being autistic. I own up to it. It takes a real brother and it takes a real one to own their flaw. To own their flaws. I am high functioning autistic. I own up to that. I don't make fun of somebody who is disabled or special needs or having Down syndrome or is of a different local racial skin color of the black community type, polar opposite to me. I may be high functioning autistic, but I'm also not racist towards blacks. I see more of myself in the black community, just as much as I see more of myself in the white community. And I'm a straight white male who's not racist, who's not heterophobic, but I am also autistic. And I know what it's like. I myself knows personally what it's like to be discriminated against. I spent the vast majority of my life, 2 decades of it, being discriminated against because of my autism. Because I was put in special needs classes at such a young age. Never having a normal childhood experiences.
Surprisingly easy to start a multi-level marketing.
I mean, blacks and I would definitely get along, cause I see more of myself, 50% of myself in the blacks and 50% of myself in the whites. I see myself both halves of. I see myself in both communities because I'm a straight white male. And I get discriminated against, and I'm autistic, and I get discriminated against. And blacks will find a lot of heartwarming sympathy with me, because I see myself, 50% of myself, in the black community, being discriminated against because of something that holds you back or being perceived as holding you back, and overcoming those obstacles makes you stronger. And I have fought tooth and nail my entire life to be seen as not a part of the autistic or the retard, if you will, the whole special needs community or the disabled community, because I know what it's like being looked down on and discriminated against because I was put through special needs classes when I was a kid. People discriminated against me, saying, "Oh, he's a weird kid. Stay away from him. Oh, he's just an autistic kid. Stay away from him." And I was also the class clown and the quiet kid rolled up into one autistic spectrum. Quiet kid because I did not
So what's
voice the whole, being, the kind of person who's been not able to invite friends over or had the opportunity or the chance to invite friends over after school. And the whole thing of it is that I myself
He said I would have gotten that promotion.
I myself have been the class clown because I was goofing off in school. And with that being said,
On Friday.
I am of the right to say this. I know what it's like to be discriminated against. And when I was a kid, hanging out with other kids at the time, a Karen. Yeah, you know who you are. Don't think I didn't remember what you did to my social standing with the other kids at the time. But a Karen, back when I was a kid,
Make a living, like everyone else.
was
Yes, reports, but I'm not coming in this
wound up turning the other kids against me. Oh, he himself, he's got rabies. Stay away from him. He's got rabies. Children, stay away from him. And directed it at me. Yeah, you know who you are. I have made a lot of friends. You thought that you would diminish me, but I became stronger. I made a lot of friends. I have made a lot of friends and
That's exactly what I told them the last time.
had came back stronger. Despite your hate and negativeness, I came back stronger. And I've overcome your plight to try to crush any iota of me having friends. I have overcome your plot.
Vacation.
And I fought tooth and nail my entire life to have good friends. I have
Let's get down.
known that I was gonna overcome that obstacle, and I have. And I'm still overcoming that obstacle, and not let
I'm in mergers and acquisitions.
disability-based discrimination define who I am.
Deserves my favorite.
I am the one who sees 50% of myself in the black community as regards of being discriminated against. And to any black person that's watching, I want you to know this. I feel you.
Nice bathroom you can take care of.
I feel you. I see 50% of myself in you. I know what it's like being discriminated against. I am here to permanently end the racial divide between blacks and whites. I'm extending an olive branch to you blacks as a friend. And I have overcome one obstacle. The friendship obstacle. I mean, sure, I don't know how to do far advanced and sophisticated tech stuff, but I know a little. Not too much, but just a little. And I'm gonna say this. It's time for the blacks and whites to unite as a formidable force of friendship and camaraderie. It's time the old racial or race war wounds to heal. Completely heal. And for the disability or the disabled community, I know what it's like to be looked down on. I am the ambassador of you guys, the disabled young people, or young people with disability. I am the ambassador of you guys. I represent you guys,
Can't serve me a subpoena if they can't find me.
and I will represent the disabled community. I am high-functioning autistic, which autism is a form of disability. There's a shit ton of famous people with a certain disability, and they go on to be remembered, carving their legacy in history. And lo and behold, Eminem is also high-functioning autistic. And he's also been a part of the disabled community. Disability is to be taken as a sensitive topic. I myself am a high-functioning autistic person that's a elite member of the disability and those who are of the disabled community. And I also sometimes stutter as well, because I had such a stuttering problem. I had such a stuttering problem. Not also I have a stuttering problem, but also a little cousin of mine has a speech impediment problem, which is a form of disability.
Well, I guess I can't wear purple now.
The disabled are to be a protected group, just like blacks, because the disabled are a minoritative group. They are a minority.
Work hard, play hard.
They are the ones who need to be a protected class of people, just like blacks.
And their coordination.
But I myself want to kill the racial feud between the blacks and whites. My heart goes out to those blacks who are unfairly targeted by the police. I feel your pain. I, myself, knows what it's like to be discriminated against. I'm just saying, it is time to end the racial discrimination. It is time that both race or both racial groups, namely the blacks and whites, throw their sabers on the ground, open their arms and their hearts to each other. I just wanted to say that. I just want people to know I'm all about killing the racial feud and the racial tension between blacks and whites. And it's time for the blacks and whites to throw down their sabers, open their arms, and hug each other in loving embrace. Just have some form of friendship between blacks and whites flourish, where both blacks and whites no longer see each other as an enemy. Just saying. And it is time to start the racial commission.